Have you ever tried standing up from your favorite chair and felt like your legs just didn't want to work? Maybe you brushed it off. Maybe you told yourself, I'm just tired today. Or, that's what getting older feels like. But let me tell you something, as a doctor who's worked with older adults for over 30 years, that quiet struggle to rise, to walk, to lift a grocery bag. It could be the first whisper of something deeper, something we call sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It's not your fault, but it is your future. Unless we act today. According to the National Institute on Aging, nearly 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 60 experiences significant muscle decline. That's not just about losing strength, it's about losing independence. What if I told you this condition could lead to falls, broken hips, brain fog, even depression, all from something as invisible as thinning muscle fibers? Have you or someone you love felt weaker lately? If so, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I read every comment myself. This isn't fear. This is awareness. Because your muscles aren't just for lifting. They are part of your brain's survival system. Let's uncover what's really stealing your strength and how we can get it back. One breakfast, one breath, one step at a time. What's really causing you to lose strength and clarity after 60? The muscle-brain connection. Doctors don't talk enough about. Let me take you back to last Tuesday. One of my patients, Mr. Thomas, age 74, came in for what he thought was just fatigue. He said, "Doc, I feel like my legs belong to someone else." His wife leaned in and whispered, "He's been forgetting things too." Got lost driving to the same grocery store we've been shopping at for 20 years. This wasn't just fatigue. It was muscle loss and mental fog, working together, slowly robbing him of his independence. The real triggers you need to know: most people think weakness comes from aging. That's only partly true. According to Harvard Health Publishing, sarcopenia often starts in your early 60s, but the real damage accelerates after age 70, especially if you've been inactive, undernourished, or hospitalized. Here are 4 medical triggers you must know. Number 1, inflammation from hidden illnesses. Chronic inflammation from arthritis, diabetes, or even gum disease can break down muscle faster than you build it. And when your muscles shrink, your balance falters. Did you know that older adults with sarcopenia are 3 times more likely to experience falls? That fall isn't just a bruise. It could be a broken hip, a trip to the ER, or even the beginning of permanent delirium. Number 2, dehydration and low electrolytes. Yes, just not drinking enough water can make you weaker and confused. Your brain and your muscles need sodium, potassium, and water to talk to each other. When you're low on these, your body can't send clear signals. That's why people with mild dehydration can feel dizzy, disoriented, and too tired to move. And the scary parts: you might not feel thirsty, especially as you age. That's why I tell my patients, if your urine isn't light yellow, you're already behind. Number 3, over-medication. I've seen it too many times. A patient takes an extra sleeping pill or painkiller, and suddenly they can't walk straight, or they hallucinate, or they don't remember where they are. According to a 2023 study from Mayo Clinic Proceedings, over 25% of older adults in the U.S. are prescribed medications that could impair muscle control or cognitive clarity. Muscle and memory both affected. Both. Have you checked your medication list lately? If not, maybe today is the day. Number 4, hospital stays and inactivity. Let me be blunt. 3 days in a hospital bed can cost you up to 1 pound of muscle. Even healthy adults lose muscle fast when they stop moving. Now imagine what happens when an older adult is lying flat, under stress. and confused. That's the perfect storm for delirium, sudden brain dysfunction that can mimic dementia. And here's the twist. Once delirium sets in, recovery becomes much harder. The longer it lasts, the more your brain chemistry changes, even after discharge. Some patients never fully come back. Muscle and memory are not separate. I want you to picture something. Your muscles are like your brain's backup battery. When you're strong, your blood flows better. Your posture improves. Your oxygen levels stay steady. And your mental sharpness follows. That's why researchers from Tufts University found that muscle strength is one of the strongest predictors of cognitive longevity. Not crossword puzzles, not vitamins. Muscle. Let that sink in. Pause and reflect. What about you? Have you been feeling more tired lately? Have you been skipping walks or cutting back on protein because it feels like too much? Have you ever stood up and felt the room sway? If yes, don't wait for a fall to change things. Say this out loud with me. My strength matters. My brain matters. Now type it in the comments. My strength matters. You might just inspire someone else to start today, too. In the next section, I'll show you what most people miss. How everyday foods and medications could be accelerating this silent shrinkage. But for now, pause and ask yourself, what small step could you take today to protect your brain and body? 5 common myths about muscle loss and brain fog after 60. What you think is normal, maybe quietly stealing your health. Let's get honest for a moment. So many of us patients, families, even some health professionals are living with outdated beliefs about aging. And these beliefs, while well-meaning, can be dangerous. They can delay diagnosis or they can prevent healing. And most of all, they can rob you of your clarity, your strength, and your confidence. Let's walk through 5 of the most common myths that may be quietly shaping your choices. Myth number 1. Feeling weak is just part of aging. Yes, aging naturally brings changes in hormones, bone density, and metabolism. But consistent muscle weakness isn't inevitable. It's a signal. In fact, according to the National Institute on Aging, much of the muscle loss we associate with aging can be slowed or even reversed through targeted movement and nutrition. So the next time you feel weaker than usual, don't ignore it. Your body isn't giving up, it's asking for help. Myth number 2, it's normal to be forgetful after 60. Mild forgetfulness, like misplacing your glasses, is common, but confusion, disorientation, or getting lost in familiar places, that's not just getting older. That could be early signs of delirium, medication overload, or even silent inflammation. According to a 2021 article from Harvard Health, up to 1/3 of sudden cognitive changes in older adults are caused by reversible medical factors, not dementia. That's right, reversible, but only if we stop brushing it off. Myth number 3, a hospital stay is always safe. This one surprises people. Hospitals save lives, but for older adults, they also pose risks, especially to the brain. Extended bed rest, sleep disruptions, and new medications can all trigger delirium and accelerate sarcopenia. The American Geriatric Society reports that up to 40% of hospitalized older adults will develop delirium, especially if they're inactive or isolated. So, while hospital care is essential, you or your family must stay actively involved in protecting your routine, movement, and orientation. Myth number 4. If I eat enough, I must be getting enough protein. Not always. Older adults need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults. That's because your body becomes less efficient at using dietary protein to build and repair muscle. According to Tufts University Nutrition Center, adults over 65 should aim for at least 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight each day. For a 150-pound person, that's around 90 grams of protein daily, or the equivalent of about 3 palm-sized servings of chicken, fish, or beans. Eating enough isn't the same as eating the right kind of nutrition. Myth number 5. If it doesn't hurt, it's not serious. Pain isn't the only signal of a health problem. Loss of energy, changes in sleep, slower walking, or a foggy brain. These are early warning signs. Don't wait for pain. By then, the damage may already be done, just like a car that drifts out of alignment before the tire blows. Your body whispers long before it shouts. What? These myths are really costing us. Each of these beliefs sounds harmless, but together, they create a dangerous mindset that decline is inevitable. That weakness is acceptable. That confusion is just part of the deal. It's not. And believing these myths only delays what you truly deserve: a clear mind, a strong body, and a full life. You have more power than you think. And the first step: start questioning what you've been told is normal. Right now, take a breath. Which of these myths have you quietly accepted? Which one do you hear your friends repeat at the dinner table? Leave a comment below. Tell me which one surprised you most, or which one you want to let go of. Because awareness is the first act of strength, and clarity is the first act of protection. How to know it's delirium, not dementia. The one misdiagnosis that could change the rest of your life. Let me ask you something that might feel a little close to home. Has someone you love ever seemed off for a day or two? Maybe they were forgetful, confused, saying strange things. And then suddenly, were they fine again, or maybe not? Maybe they came back slower, or never quite came back at all. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And what you may have witnessed wasn't aging. It wasn't dementia. It may have been delirium, a condition that's urgent, reversible, but dangerously misunderstood. Why this distinction matters so much. Delirium and dementia are two different storms, and treating one like the other, that's a recipe for harm. Here's the simplest way I explain it to my patients. Dementia is a slow fade. Delirium is a light switch. Dementia develops over months or years. Delirium can come on within hours. And here's the critical truth. Delirium can be reversed if you act fast, but if ignored, it can become permanent. How to spot delirium, even before the doctor does. There are 4 major signs that doctors and nurses look for when screening for delirium. You can remember them with a simple tool called CAM, the Confusion Assessment Method. Let's break it down together. Confusion that comes on quickly. If someone goes from clear-minded to confused in just a day or two, that's your first red flag. Dementia doesn't move that fast, but a urinary tract infection, pain medication, dehydration, or even constipation can all trigger sudden brain fog in older adults. Attention becomes fragile. One of the earliest signs of delirium is an inability to focus. If someone drifts off mid-sentence or stares without responding, that's not just being tired. That's their brain struggling to stay connected. Memory changes, fluctuate hour to hour. With dementia, memory usually declines steadily, but with delirium, a person might be confused at breakfast and alert by lunch. These fluctuations are key. They tell us this isn't permanent yet and we have a window to act. Bonus sign: visual hallucinations or sudden paranoia. If someone starts seeing things that aren't there or insists someone is stealing their things, don't laugh it off. This is a known symptom of delirium and must be taken seriously. What causes delirium? Here are 5 of the most common triggers: infections, especially urinary tract infections or pneumonia. Pain medications, especially opioids or sedatives. Electrolyte imbalances, such as low sodium. Sleep deprivation, especially in hospitals. Sudden changes in environment, like moving to a new room or waking up from surgery. The sad truth is, many of these causes are preventable, and that's why recognizing delirium early is so powerful. But what if it's actually dementia? That's a fair question. Here's the difference. Dementia gets slowly worse over time, and you'll notice a pattern: trouble remembering names, managing bills, repeating stories. Delirium is sudden, severe, and unpredictable. It changes by the hour, not by the year. But here's what's most important. Delirium and dementia can exist together. And if you have early stage dementia, a single episode of delirium can make everything worse faster. That's why doctors like me don't wait. We act early, even when symptoms seem mild. What you can do right now: don't wait for a diagnosis. If someone you care about suddenly seems off, check their fluid intake. Ask what medications were recently started. Look for signs of infection. Contact their doctor and describe the changes clearly. And remember, delirium is treatable, but only if it's seen. Have you ever seen a loved one go through sudden confusion like this? Did it pass quickly? Or did it linger longer than you expected? Type yes in the comments if you've ever witnessed it, or type no if you haven't but want to know what to look for. I read every response because every story teaches us how to care better. Hospital dangers. Why delirium happens. So often in medical facilities, hospitals are where we go to get better. They fix bones, stop infections, save lives. But here's what many people, especially older adults, don't realize. A hospital stay can also be the place where your brain starts to slip. And sometimes, it doesn't come back the same. Not because of a mistake, not because of bad care, but because of how our bodies and minds respond to stress, silence, and sudden change, especially after 60. Let's talk about delirium in hospitals. According to the American Geriatric Society, nearly 1 out of every 3 older adults experiences delirium during hospitalization. In intensive care units, that number jumps to up to 80%. Yes, 8 out of 10 patients over 65 in the ICU may experience sudden confusion, hallucinations, or paranoia. And it doesn't always go away after discharge. Some never fully return to who they were. So, why does the brain break down in a place meant for healing? There are 5 key reasons. Let's walk through them gently so you know how to protect yourself or someone you love. Number 1, sleep deprivation. Hospitals don't run on your circadian rhythm. There are beeping monitors, late-night blood draws, overhead pages. For an older brain, especially one already managing memory decline, disrupted sleep is like pulling the plug on a computer during a software update. And once sleep is fragmented, your ability to stay alert, reason, and form memories drops fast. Number 2, sensory overload or deprivation. Too much noise. Bright lights 24/7 and strangers coming and going can confuse even a healthy brain. Now imagine being hooked to machines, not knowing what time it is, in a room with no window. Some hospitals try to reduce this with quiet hours and natural light, but not all succeed. Your brain needs anchors, clocks, faces, sunlight. Without them, it floats. Number 3,
Unfamiliar environments and routines. At home, you know where your toothbrush is. You recognize the dog barking next door. You wake up when your coffee brews. In the hospital, new smells, new routines, no control. For the aging brain, unfamiliarity can be deeply unsettling, triggering fear, confusion, or withdrawal. Number 4, medication stacking. Many patients receive multiple drugs in a short window: painkillers, anti-nausea meds, sleeping pills, antibiotics. Each may be helpful alone, but together they can disrupt brain chemistry, causing sudden confusion.
Johns Hopkins Medicine warns that even common medications like diphenhydramine Benadryl can increase delirium risk in adults over 65, yet it's still prescribed every single day. Number 5, immobility and bed rest. The average adult loses up to 1 pound of muscle for every 3 days of bed rest. For older adults, that means weak legs, slow walking, less oxygen to the brain,
Higher risk of delirium.
movement protects memory. Even walking 10 feet a day in the hospital can reduce delirium risk. The most heartbreaking part: delirium isn't always caught. Hospital staff may assume a patient is just tired, old, or confused. Family members may think, well, she's 80, maybe this is just dementia. But delirium is different. It comes fast, and the earlier you catch it, the better the chance of full recovery. How you can help? If your loved one is in the hospital, make sure there's a clock and calendar in the room.
Ask nurses to minimize overnight disruptions.
Ensure glasses and hearing aids are used. Encourage small walks, even with assistance. Advocate for fewer medications where possible. Talk to them about familiar things, family stories, favorite meals.
In short, bring the outside world in, because the brain doesn't heal in isolation. It heals in connection. Have you or someone close to you ever become confused after a hospital stay? Did it resolve or linger far too long? Type yes in the comments if this happened to someone you love. Type not yet if you want to stay prepared for the future, because knowing this today could change tomorrow. The best ways to prevent delirium at home. Let me say this gently, but clearly. Delirium doesn't start in the hospital. It often begins quietly at home through small signs we dismiss: a few skipped meals, a restless night, a forgotten water bottle, a double dose of medication by accident. But here's the hopeful truth. Just as it builds silently, delirium can be prevented quietly, gently through your daily habits. Let's talk about what works. Let's talk about how to keep your brain and muscles steady before trouble starts. Number 1, hydration is brain protection. Many older adults are mildly dehydrated most of the day and don't even feel it. According to Cleveland Clinic, dehydration increases confusion risk by more than 50% in older adults. So here's a simple check. If your urine isn't pale yellow, you need more water. I recommend this: a glass of warm water right after waking up. At least 64 ounces of water per day, about 8 cups. Flavor it with lemon or cucumber if needed. Avoid caffeine after 3 p.m. It dehydrates you. Water isn't just for your kidneys. It's a gift to your brain. Number 2, sleep. Like it's your medicine. Your brain repairs itself at night. And for older adults, lack of deep sleep is a major trigger for memory loss and delirium. The National Sleep Foundation recommends at least 7 hours of sleep per night for adults over 60. Here's how to make that possible: stick to a bedtime routine even on weekends. No screens 1 hour before sleep. Dim lights after dinner.
Use soft background noise if silence makes you anxious.
And most importantly, ask your doctor if any medications may be disrupting your sleep. Sleeping pills might help in the short term, but they often worsen brain fog long term. Number 3, protein and movement. Your brain's morning shield. Sarcopenia. Age-related muscle loss is a major risk factor for delirium. When muscles are weak, you move less. When you move less, oxygen and blood flow to the brain slow down, and that's when fog sets in. Here's your anti-delirium breakfast: at least 20 grams of protein within 90 minutes of waking up. That's equal to 3 scrambled eggs or a protein shake.
Add a 10-minute walk after breakfast inside the house, around the yard, or with your dog.
Just 10 minutes of morning motion can lower brain inflammation for the rest of the day. Source Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, 2021. Number 4, simplify and track your medications. One of the most common triggers of delirium is medication confusion, double dosing, skipping, mixing drugs that don't belong together. Create a simple system. Use a pill organizer with days and times.
Tape a copy of your medication list to the fridge.
Ask your pharmacist if there are any risks of drug interaction. Review all meds every 6 months with your doctor.
The less guesswork, the more peace. And peace protects your brain. Number 5, anchor your day with familiarity. The brain loves rhythm. It feels safe when it knows what's coming next. So create a morning and evening routine that stays consistent. Open your curtains at the same time every morning. Play soft music you love while making breakfast. Light a candle or use essential oils to ground your senses. End the day with a warm bath or simple breathing exercise. The goal isn't perfection, it's predictability. Gentle truth. Delirium doesn't wait for a crisis, it grows in silence. But you are not powerless. You can make your home a place of calm, clarity, and quiet strength. And those little choices, glass of water, walk around the block, a good night's sleep, they don't just prevent confusion, they protect everything that makes you, you. What's one small habit you already do that helps you feel grounded? Type it below in the comments. Even something as simple as stretching while the coffee brews might help someone else. Let's build a list together. A list of brain-protecting, soul-soothing, muscle-saving rituals from real people who care. Like you, if you've stayed with me this far, I want to say something from the heart. You are not powerless. Not against confusion, not against muscle loss, and certainly not against time. Because the truth is your brain is still listening. Every glass of water, every walk after breakfast, every deep breath before sleep. They all whisper the same message: I still care about this body. I still want clarity. I still want strength. The brain doesn't need perfection. It needs rhythm. We often think change means overhauling everything. A new diet, new routines, new supplements. But the brain doesn't need chaos. It needs consistency. Think of your habits as anchors. Wake up at the same time each day. Drink a glass of warm water within 15 minutes.
Eat a protein-rich breakfast within 90 minutes.
Walk for 10 minutes after breakfast or lunch. Avoid screens an hour before bed.
Sleep in a cool, dark, quiet room. Do that over and over. Not perfectly, just intentionally, and your brain will reward you in return. Protect your brain before it needs saving. People wait until they can't remember names, until they've fallen, until they've gotten lost in their own neighborhood, but we don't have to wait. The signs show up earlier, quieter, and your habits. They are the first line of defense. Hydration keeps your mind alert. Protein rebuilds muscle that supports balance. Sleep sweeps toxins from your brain. Movement improves blood flow to memory centers.
You don't need a miracle. You need a morning plan that loves your brain. How to start? The 3-3-3 rule. If you're wondering where to begin, here's what I tell my patients. Do 3 things every morning. Repeat them 3 times a week for 3 weeks. That's it. For example, wake up, stretch for 5 minutes, drink 1 glass of water.
Eat 2 eggs or a protein shake.
Then do that again tomorrow. And again. After 3 weeks, it's not an effort, it's identity. What you do today is the signal for who you'll be tomorrow. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait for a doctor to say, you need to change. You already know. Your body already knows. Let's start showing up for it, like it's shown up for you every day for 60 plus years. Your mornings matter. And so does your memory, your legs, your laugh, your legacy. As a doctor who's been doing this for 30 years, I'll tell you this: brains can come back. Strength can return. Confidence can be rebuilt, but only if you believe this. You are not broken. You are rebuilding. One small act at a time. So tell me, what's the one habit you're going to choose tomorrow morning to protect your brain? Drop it in the comments. Even if it's as simple as stretching for 3 minutes or drinking water before coffee, type it below. Not for me.
But for the person reading who doesn't believe change is possible, your comment might be the reason someone starts. And if this video helped you, inspired you, or just made you feel seen, don't forget to subscribe, because next week's video is something I wish every person over 60 could hear as a brain doctor. I'm shocked. 6 causes of paranoia and psychosis in aging. We're just getting started. Let's keep building your brain-safe life together.